If you're selling leads, then you're going to need to get your leads to your buyers. That's a no-brainer. But what's not so obvious is the fastest and most efficient way to accomplish this, especially when you're dealing with operational issues, different moving pieces to your tech stack, buyers with different lead buying requirements, and then all the issues that tend to plague forms and funnels like lead fraud and spam and lead quality issues, compliance, the list goes on and on. The easiest ways to get your leads from point A to point B, point A being your lead form, quiz funnel, whatever you want to call it, to your buyer is using a automated lead distribution platform. And in today's video, I'm going to be covering how to easily get your leads from your LeadCapture funnel that you've set up inside of LeadCapture to LeadProsper. And it just so happens that over at LeadCapture, we're one of the only funnel builders for performance marketers and lead sellers that makes it extremely easy to just pipe your data directly from your funnel into LeadProsper. Many of our competitors do not make it this easy. And the vast majority of form builders and funnel builders don't even know what a lead distribution tool is. I don't know if they're asleep at the wheel or playing a lot of ping pong or what. So let's just dive into how this works. I'm inside of my LeadCapture account, and to the left, you'll see the area where we have all the different integrations. LeadProsper is the one we're going to be focusing on in this video. And I'm going to show you a couple things to watch out for when you're integrating, along with the way to boost call rates. So stick around until the end. I should have said that in the beginning to drop some sort of a hook to keep you engaged. Hopefully you're still watching this. But if you stay around until the end, I'll show you how to boost post-submission call rates by like 10 to 30%. Anyway, going back to the video, this is where you're going to do all the work. Here you have a little preview of your lead funnel or quiz, whatever you want to call it, in the center. And then you have a list of steps. This help thing is in the way, so let me just try to move that. But here's where you have your list of steps for your funnel. This is open because I want to highlight that if you don't understand what I'm saying, because I'm from Philly and we talk fast and tend to say things the wrong way, just go into the help guide and then you can pull this up and it will open up every single step and everything you need to keep in mind as you're integrating. It looks like a lot, but it's pretty easy, especially once you get set up, because all you have to do is come in here and clone it, set it up once, and you're set. If you want us to even help you get set up, just shoot us a message. We'll get you set up. Or if you even want to get it all set up yourself and have us take a look at it, we'll do that too and just make sure everything is functioning and posting properly. So let's get into it. There's really two steps here. Step one, you just need to set up some basic information. Step two, you then need to map all of your fields. So before we begin to map everything, let's just go back, pretend you didn't see that open. You'd go to lead delivery, expand LeadProsper, and here's where you're going to focus. Now, on the LeadProsper side, there's a key requirement. Do not miss this step. You're going to need to have your LeadProsper posting guide open up on your screen, because there's some information you're going to have to copy from LeadProsper to LeadCapture. If you can copy and paste, you can get this done. The other requirement here, this is key, and we also note this in the documentation, make sure you're using a direct post campaign in LeadProsper. If it's not direct post, go back and restart because it won't work. So use direct post. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here in this tab so I can easily organize. And let's just start setting this up. So we already have the post URL that you need to send your lead to hard-coded. There's nothing you need to do there. These three fields here are key. You're going to need to set your campaign ID, supplier ID, and LeadProsper key. To do that, go on into your posting guide. Do not copy this, because this will be different for every single person. And this is just some example guide that I found on LeadProsper's site. Copy that, copy this. That's your supplier ID. The first thing I put in was the campaign ID. And here's your LP key. This information, make sure the lead gets to where it needs to go to inside of LeadProsper. Drop them into this area here and you're pretty much set. I'll touch on this stuff towards the end of the video when we talk about boosting call rates. Click save. Now this information is saved, everything's configured. You can now move to step two, and that's field mapping. Now field mapping doesn't take too long, and it beats having to go to developers who use a bunch of other tools that could end up breaking in your tech stack. So let's just imagine we want to map the email field. In this flow, it's in a step called email, and then go on over to the left and find your fields. So you'll see we have a name field that matches this section here and an email field. Click on this little pencil and then watch it magically drag us down here. Now, this email field has email verification turned on. That's a bonus of using LeadCapture. Get email verification for free. So this way you can pre-verify the email addresses before you even post them into your lead distribution tool and send them off to buyers and clients. To map it to LeadProsper, we're going to look for the LeadProsper field area down here. Open it up, and then you're just going to paste in the value from your lead posting guide. Let's go on over to the lead posting guide look for the email field. You'll go to field name, and you're just looking for email, and then copy this and then paste it in. There it is. Make sure there's no spaces or additional characters. Click save. And now email will be mapped and posted in. You can do the same thing for the name step. Let's use an example like phone number. Go into the step where your phone number lives. In this case, I have it called contact. We will go all the way down. You'll see I have a bunch of hidden fields in here, including trusted form. We easily capture that with a flip of a switch. Here's the phone number field. Click on the pencil and magically drags us down. And then we're going to look for LeadProsper, expand that field, go to your lead posting guide, and then you are going to look for the phone field, and you can paste that in. Now, at a bare minimum with LeadProsper, this is really key. You need to map your required fields. So make sure you're paying attention to the required column. Any field that says yes, you're going to need to map. So you could see here, campaign, supplier ID, and key all need to be mapped. And then in this example, there's no other field marked as yes, but in your case, there could be. For example, typically we see email and phone are marked as yes required. And then you can see you can capture all this additional information. There's some fields like IP address that automatically passes over. And you might be wondering, okay, once I start to post the lead, how can I actually tell if it was successfully posted into LeadProsper? Well, there's a couple of answers to that. Obviously, it will show up in LeadProsper, but if it doesn't, how do you troubleshoot? I'll show you how to handle that as well in a moment. So at this point, we've set up the integration here, and we started mapping our fields. Now, before I show you how to troubleshoot and then how to boost contact rates, there's a couple of things I want to highlight. Now, one of the other amazing things about LeadCapture is we provide you with the ability to integrate with Google Address Autocomplete, so you can capture the address in a frictionless way. But when it comes to posting the address information to LeadProsper, there's one thing you need to keep in mind, and it's that LeadProsper expects the state to come over in its abbreviated form. For example, you'll see Pennsylvania needs to come through as PA and not Pennsylvania. Otherwise, the lead could fail to post, or the state may not show up inside of LeadProsper. So we developed a really simple solution for that. Go on into Settings, Google Address Autocomplete, turn on Use Short State Name. This will automatically send the state name to LeadProsper in the abbreviated version. Now, if you're not using the Google Address Autocomplete field, the alternative to that could just be using a dropdown and including the abbreviated state names in the dropdown. Another time-saving tip here for you is LeadProsper expects the phone number to come through in a specific formatting. You can go into LeadProsper and adjust the formatting of the phone field. In fact, we have that all laid out in this documentation. So if you run into any issues with your phone number not posting through, you can reach out to us, or you can just check out this guide. And at the bottom of the guide, we are showing you exactly how to map the phone field. So now let's get to the fun stuff. First, I'm going to push a lead through and I'll show you how to see a log. So this way you can troubleshoot. Then I'll show you a really effective tactic for increasing post-submission call rate. So this is just a demo that I have set up. We'll just quickly go through this. There's the address autocomplete. And then there's the real-time verification happening right on the field. And we also have OTP phone verification turned off. We have found, if you're not familiar with this, that this is one of the most effective ways to boost contact rates. Because you're actually forcing your prospect to verify that they're actually holding the phone. It also reduces spam. So we just submitted the lead, and then we are going to go into the analytics section. Here's the lead that I just sent through. And now at this point, you can see we captured all the information. This is not meant to be a CRM, by the way. We captured this information, it posted into LeadProsper, and here you will see a whole bunch of different webhooks that I have set up because we could post into multiple webhooks. But here's the LeadProsper post. You can see the payload of information that was sent out, and then the response that came back from LeadProsper. So we can see that the supplier key and campaign information that we sent over was invalid. It's probably just because we're using some sort of a test account. So if you're seeing that your leads aren't showing up inside of LeadProsper, or if some of the information is posting into LeadProsper, but some of it's not showing up, this is where you can see all that information. Now let's get into how to increase post-form submissions using LeadProsper and LeadCapture combined. One of the unique features that we built into LeadCapture to work with LeadProsper is the ability to dynamically redirect to a URL post-submission that you set in LeadProsper. So let's just take a look at the documentation for a second. On the LeadProsper side, imagine that you have a bunch of buyers and you want to route your lead to the buyer that the lead is assigned to. Well, you can go into LeadProsper, configure some options, and set up specific landing pages for each buyer. And this way, when the lead submits, they can automatically be redirected to that buyer, and you can have a picture of the buyer. You could have their phone number and some additional information. This is an amazing way to not only drive inbound calls, but it is also a great way just to build trust and get your lead familiar with who's about to be calling them post submission. So to get all that set up, first you need to create your landing pages per buyer. Then you have to go into LeadProsper, enable this setting here, add in a key called redirect URL, jump back on over into LeadCapture, go to lead delivery, go to the LeadProsper area, and then just type in redirect URL field like that, and make it the same key that you just entered in LeadProsper. In this case, it's redirect URL. And now whenever the lead is submitted, it is instantly going to be routed not only into LeadProsper, but to the buyer that the lead is assigned to. That alone can increase inbound calls. That wraps up our video on getting your leads to your buyers from LeadCapture directly into LeadProsper without any additional tools or crazy workarounds. If you need any help at all, please feel free to reach out. We are always happy to help you out. Thanks.